Season 45, war number 3, and we're up against 4 Loki. And this time my team will be Kate Bishop, Valkyrie and Venom. I will be taking Path 5 in Section 1, Path 4 in Section 2, then I will be taking that Nick Fury and Jessica Jones, as well as that Kingpin and Mysterio boss. So I did bring in Venom for the first time ever to Alliance War, but unfortunately he only has a single fight this time around, but hopefully it'll be good enough to show that he can be viable in a war setting as well. First here we have an America Chavez on the ebb and flow knockdown and right back at it nodes, and I am taking this fight with Kate Bishop. As usual, I did put on an advanced power boost to start with a bar of power. It's not necessary for fights like these, but it does speed things up quite a bit when you can get that first cold snap on immediately at the start of the fight. And within roughly 15 seconds into the fight, I already got both of them on, and this America Chavez is as good as dead. All I gotta do is just keep those cold snaps paused by baiting and punishing her heavies and specials with just a single tap, just to, well, pause the effects, and down she goes. The fight did slow down a little bit after the protection came back. I couldn't remove it again by knocking her down because the unstoppable did trigger. To avoid that, I could have blocked or parried the special one instead of dexing it, and it would have been slightly faster. And now this fight here is a Nova on the ebb and flow knockdown and heavy hitter nodes, and well, the game plan is basically the exact same. The only real issue here is that Nova has an auto block mechanic, but if you can get those specials off before he gets to ramp up, well, he never gets to use it and the fight is over before he can really do anything. And Nova can be an annoying defender to fight against, but well, Kate Bishop is ridiculous. She can do way too many things in war, especially this season with the decay tactic. She's not gonna be as strong going forward when she no longer will be a tactic attacker, but as she is now, she's just amazing. Now this fight here is a man thing on the special burst lockdown and steady build up unblockable nodes, and once again I am using Kate Bishop here. I still had the advanced power boost active, so I got my first special one off early, along with the slow debuff, and now with the cold snaps on and the slow up, there is absolutely no way this guy is gonna do anything meaningful to me for the rest of the fight. All those debuffs on the opponent mean that I will not be taking any poison damage here, and since I did get the slow up as well, I have no need to worry about any unstoppable triggers, and he goes down in around 30 seconds. Now that fight can be annoying, just like a Black Widow Clairvoyant would be if you are not using an advanced power boost, so I highly suggest using one if you are using Kate Bishop here. Then we have a Chee'ilth here on the Painful Retreat and Steady Build Up Unblockable nodes, and I am using Kate Bishop for this one as well. And I still just barely had the advanced power boost active, so I managed to get the benefit of it here. I got both of my cold snaps up before I got the first power sting from the node, which was perfect, and at this point the fight is essentially over. Just gotta bait the special one, punish it to pause that final cold snap that was left on, and now she's dead. She isn't really the most difficult opponent to face, but you do need to keep in mind that she can inflict the bleeds through your block. So if you're not using a bleed immune, just don't let her touch you and you should be fine. And then next up we have the fun fight of this war, a Nick Fury on the Scared Stiff and Power Focus 2 nodes, and I am taking this fight with Venom. And the reason I am using Venom here, well, to put it simply, I just wanted to. I had an empty slot in my team and we needed someone to take this Nick Fury, so instead of using someone boring like Kitty Pryde, I decided I want to take my Venom in for a spin. Now, to start this fight off, my buff RNG was pretty bad. I started off with 2 armor ups and I didn't get a chance to try to re-roll them, so we just have to go with what we got. Now, the more unique buffs that Venom has, and the more his bleeds are gonna deal to the opponent thanks to the Venom relic that I have equipped, and you can see those bleed vulnerabilities down there below Nick Fury's health bar. Every single unique buff, stacking up to 6, will increase your bleed damage thanks to those, and you can see now that I have 2 precisions, those criticals, and by extension those bleeds are just gonna be melting him. Now unfortunately Nick Fury does remove the bleed vulnerabilities when he enters his second life, so I lose the bonus damage there, but even then just look at his health bar melt, and Venom still at full health thanks to being able to eat those Fury buffs from Nick Fury. Nick Fury is almost down, just 5 more hits in the special 1, and down he goes with a perfect combo, just over a minute and a full yellow bar. Now Venom might not be the flashiest attacker in war, and he might not be the, well, best for any specific matchup, but he's still not weak by any means, and he can be used for some specific matchups. Anyways, next up we have a Jessica Jones here on the Hazard Shift Shock and Bleed, Conflictor and Crumbling Armor node, and I am taking this fight with Valkyrie. And this is a fight that I have taken many times in the past, and it is quite simple if you know how to play Valkyrie properly. You basically just hit the opponent's block until they go down, and that's about it. However, there is a slight problem I had with this fight, and that is something that a few people who commented in my previous videos did warn me about, but I forgot to check and confirm if that was actually the case, and turns out it is. And what I'm talking about here is the non-contact combo inversion. For whatever reason, since the previous update, it is no longer safe to do. So when I try to go for the 4 light whiffs in the air here, Jessica Jones starts moving when she normally wouldn't be able to. And that just shows that it's not actually safe to do, it no longer locks the defender in place. So I got very lucky she didn't actually punish me for it there. So going forward, do keep in mind that it is no longer safe. I don't know if that is an intentional change on Kabam's part. I haven't really heard back anything after I asked them about it, so we'll see. I'm hoping this gets fixed and it will become possible once again, but as of now it is not safe, so do not try to do it in Alliance War at least. It is way too risky, and it might end with you losing an attack bonus due to an AI change, which this is, whether intentional or not, but just be mindful of that. Then we have a Kingpin here on the Conflictor miniboss node, and I'm taking this fight with Kate Bishop, and I do have the White Magneto pre-fight here. The pre-fight isn't needed, but I guess the damage boost is nice to have. Now, you might have noticed something here. I made a slight mistake by not placing the Cryo Arrow pre-fight. That means that whenever I use my Special 1 or Special 2, I will cycle my arrows in order, so the next one will be the Tranquilize Arrow, which in this fight does absolutely nothing for me. Now, that's not exactly a problem so long as you notice it, which I do here. I start spamming my block while waiting the Special 1 to try to get to my Cryo Arrow once again, but I overshot it and I'm back to the Tranquilize. So I use my passive stun here to try again, and I got it right this time. Now, once again, I use a Special 1 and I rotate the arrows, which is annoying, but it's not too difficult to deal with against an opponent like Kingpin, who leaves you plenty of time to just sit there and cycle through them. Now, that is the main reason I keep always using the pre-fight on every single Kate fight I do. I don't wanna be in a complex, more difficult fight, spamming my own block, trying to switch to the proper arrows whenever I need them, because it can lead to some, well, mistakes in gameplay, and me potentially dying because of it. Then we have the final fight of this war, a Mysterio boss that I am taking with Kate Bishop. And since I have the invulnerability boost on for this fight instead of an advanced power boost, I need to be mindful of getting to my own special one before I bait his special one. The reason for that is the slow debuff. I need to have that on before I bait Dex and punish his special, otherwise I run into the risk of him going unstoppable, and I would rather not deal with that. Once I got the slow up, all I gotta do for the rest of the fight is just bait and punish his special once with a heavy attack to keep re-triggering the slow debuff and to keep my cold snaps paused and refreshed. And that is the fight. This is a nice rhythm you can get to when you're taking the fight, and it makes the fight extremely simple to take, so long as you're consistent in dexing those special ones. If you get clipped, you can't knock him down with the heavy attack punish, and that means the slow debuff will likely fall off, and you won't be able to pause the cold snaps either, and that can lead to some snowballing problems that you don't want to deal with. So if you're planning on taking this fight, do practice the special one dex. I know I have failed it a few times in these war videos before, and it has not been pretty, so I did make sure to practice it on my own time a little bit to make sure it wouldn't happen again. Now, as for the results, we did end up winning the war 4-1, which is another excellent war from us, and I hope it will keep going this way, but at this point I already know that it won't, but more on that in the upcoming videos.